Brandy Johnson, as a 15-year-old, gained worldwide acclaim in gymnastics at the Seoul Olympics. Her 10th place finish in the all-around competition served notice a new star was rising. Since Seoul, Brandy Johnson's star has rocketed. The European press recently rated her one of the 3 best gymnasts in the world. She was America's best by far in the all-around competition at the U.S. Championships recently, as her mother and coach looked on.
Round-up double back and a one-step on the landing. A good routine, a great ending to a fantastic competition for her.
That was 2 weeks ago. Today, you'll see Brandy Johnson, now 16 years old, attempt to win championships in her 4 event finals. Youth was also served in the men's competition when a powerful teenager from Philadelphia, Tim Ryan, was a surprise winner in the men's all-around. This 18-year-old from Stanford, an up-and-comer in men's gymnastics, can seal the title with an impressive performance on the high bar, and he's having one.
It's going to come down to this dismount.
And it's an excellent one. And I think we've crowned a new champion. Today, Tim Ryan tries to extend his newfound success in the 6 individual event finals as NBC Sports presents the U.S. Gymnastics Championships.
The following NBC Sports program is pre-recorded.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Don Crickey, and welcome back to the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota, where America's best in gymnastics are gathered for our national championships. If you were with us a couple of weeks ago on NBC Sports World, you saw 2 teenagers, Tim Ryan and Brandy Johnson, win the all-around titles. Today, we're going to be looking at the spectacular individual event finals. I'm joined by a former U.S. Olympian, Kathy Johnson, and we have a young lady today, Kathy, Brandy Johnson, who might be ready to run the table, win everything.
On her way to qualifying for every event final, Brandy dominated the all-around competition, winning by almost 2 full points. It is conceivable that she could win every event, and that's never been done before in this competition. However, with the new rules, none of the scores carry over from the all-around competition. All the gymnasts start at 0, so it's wide open for all the gymnasts trying to vie for that national championship on an individual event.
The spectaculars become commonplace in gymnastics. You have to be spectacular to compete with the world's best. Bart Connor certainly did. He won a gold medal for the United States back in 1984. Bart, the danger factor is unbelievable. I guess the only people that aren't afraid are the performers.
And especially the young ones, and I think that's the most exciting aspect of what's happening with the U.S. men's team. There's so much new young talent, and the U.S. coaching staff is very pleased with that. Today's competition will be especially exciting for a couple of reasons. As Kathy mentioned, the no scores carry over from the preliminary rounds, and the athletes will be featured in their favorite and certainly their best events, so we're going to see some outrageous difficulty today.
There are 4 apparatus for the women: the vault, the uneven bars, the balance beam, and the floor exercise. The men have 6 to compete in. They begin with a floor exercise, then hand ride the pommel horse, and conclude with the very exciting horizontal bar.
As we mentioned earlier, Brandy Johnson won the all-around competition, with Christy Henrich and Sandy Woolsey taking 2nd and 3rd. But keep in mind as we enter today's event finals that none of these scores carry over. All the gymnasts begin at 0.
Each of the ladies gets 2 chances at the vault. Right now, we're going to watch young Kim Kelly with her 2nd vault.
Now, Kim scored a 9.487 on her first vault. She's actually performing a weaker vault for her 2nd, a pike Tsukahara. Now, keep in mind, this vault is only valued at a 9.5. Each of the vaults that the gymnasts perform are rated according to the code of points. She does a pike Tsukahara, which is a very weak vault, but she does it well.
Kim Kelly got 9.15, an average score of 9.318. Here's a 16-year-old on the rise, Sandy Woolsey.
Now, Sandy's opening with a pretty strong vault, a Yurchenko full twist, round up onto the board, and a layout full twist off. She gets decent height, but as you can see, she really has some form errors within the vault. Also, she had to pike down the landing, landed low, and took that step backwards. Now, we'll take a look where the major form deductions were. Right here, she goes onto the horse. Her legs are bent and slightly apart. And then, of course, she lands a little low and has to take that step backwards. Now, from this overhead angle, you can see she has ample distance from the horse, but you can see where her legs are bent and apart.
And the score for the first vault, 9.387.
Now, the new rules state that a gymnast must perform vaults for 2 different categories. There's a definite weakness in second vaults in this competition. I think the leaders will be determined on the relative strength of their second vault. She does a Sukahara with a full twist, and you can see again a low landing. She had to pike down. That will be a deduction.
That's John Aitken, one of her coaches down there at the Desert Devils Gymnastics Academy in Arizona.
I can see relief on her face making that second vault. Again, her legs are apart on the pre-flight, low landing, and a little bit off center. Those will be the deductions. You can check out her distance here from the horse. It's a little bit shorter than her first vault.
The judges felt that way too, Kathy. Her second vault scored 9.2, an average of 9.293. Now the favorite, Brandy Johnson, perhaps the most explosive gymnast to come on the scene since marylewdretton. She must beat the 9.318 put on the board by Kim Kelly a bit earlier.
Brandy is far superior in this event because she has 2 very strong vaults, both valued at a 10.0. In fact, the new rules favor her.
Brandy has already been crowned the all-around champion and is trying to become the first ever to win the 4 individual events.
Her first vault is a Yurchenko with a full twist. Beautiful position in the air. Now, she's a little bit off-center on the mat, and that will be a slight deduction.
Perhaps the most intent onlooker was Kathy Johnson, her mother. If not Kathy, certainly Coach Kevin Brown, making some corrections before Brandy's second vault.
Now, as we noticed before, she was off-center on the mat. It looks right there that she was actually off-center on the horse. That's very unusual.
First vault score, 9.687. So she is in position to win the first event.
This is one of my favorite vaults coming up. She does a handspring front pike with a half twist, and she usually does it so beautifully. Way up in the air. Has to pike down a little bit on the landing, but that's just a slight deduction. It's such a strong second vault, and again, it's valued at a 10.0.
A difficult vault, well done. Brandy with Coach Kevin Brown. She's back with Kevin after she went with Bella Caroli during the Olympics.
It is crucial for a gymnast to have 2 strong vaults worth 10.0 if they even dream of medaling in this event. The beautiful second vault.
And on the sidelines, Coach Kevin Brown with a little boogie trying to help Brandy through it all, and together they get it done very nicely. And the judges give Brandy the best score yet, a 9.875 for a 2-vault average of 9.781. Brandy Johnson takes the lead as Holly Voorheis is set to vault.
And as you can see, she scored a 9.75 to qualify in this event, but that just shows her potential. None of the scores carry. She does a handspring front pike, a beautiful vault. Has trouble with the landing, but that's a very difficult landing. This vault is worth a 10.0. Now, the amazing part of her vault is the distance she gets from the horse.
She's a real athlete, 16 years old, from Frankenmuth, Michigan, Holly Voorheis.
Good height from the horse. Nice position in the air. Just has trouble with that landing. It's a pretty substantial hop.
Now they await the numbers. First vault score, very good, 9.70 for Holly.
Now, she performs a layout Sukahara, which is only valued at a 9.7, but keep in mind it's higher than most of the values of the other second vaults we've seen. Nice vault. Again, that hop on the landing, but her legs also separated on the pre-flight.
And some commendation from Coach Ricky Garcia for Holly Voorheis.
Was one of the strongest second vaults we've seen in this competition. But again, it's only out of a 9.7. You could see her legs separate. She has nice position in the air. Here you can see her very substantial distance from the horse.
He really does get elevation and extension. Holly Voorheis gets a 9.425 for an average of 9.562. So Brandy Johnson takes the first individual event. One event home on her look for a sweep.
What is really exciting for Brandy is those two balls could really help her win a medal in this event at the World Championships.
The official standings, Brandy was followed by Holly Voorheis, Kim Kelly, and Sandy Woolsey. 1 gold medal for Brandy Johnson. The individual event finals of the U.S. Gymnastics Championships continue with the very difficult men's pommel horse competition coming up.